there seems to be a hardcore that they cannot handle truth.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Full Metal MAGA. Frank Kavanaugh here. Today I got a treat for you guys. Center in Exile. They're a Cleveland band, guerrilla filmmakers, and rock and roll patriots. I want to introduce you guys to Pat Duffy and Ben Billarco. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
Sorry I mangled your name there, Ben. I do it every time. It's my mental block, I guess.
That one was perfect.
It's being Irish.
It's being Irish. That's the thing. The Irish know how to fight because we've been fighting forever. We've been fighting for 600 years. So Center in Exile, you guys are from Cleveland. You guys have a libertarian, patriot bent to your music. Let me know what's going on with you guys. You guys have music coming out? Tell everybody about you guys, actually.
Right. Well, yeah, Center in Exile. Center in Exile, the drummer and I, Chris Freight, was a little scared to be here today, but that's okay.
So am I.
He and I were in a band called Center for Rock Research. Center for Rock Research was a band. We would take classic albums, put on a benefit show, play the album from start to finish, and it was a ball. And we had elaborate stage sets. We had the sci-fi angle. And but I wanted to do, hey, let's take all this and start doing original stuff. It caused a huge rift, and so we broke off, and we are now the Center in Exile.
Cool, cool.
But,
so now, when you wanted to do, like, when you start doing your solo stuff, did it have a libertarian, conservative, or quote unquote conspiracy theory bent to it?
Well, it did. Yeah, our whole sci-fi story is like a worldwide conspiracy, and it's about it's the idea of music. I mean, the motivational power of music is something that's they scientifically isolated, and then that becomes this, you know, MacGuffin in the story, because everybody wants that, because then you can control people.
Trans beats.
Very, very easily.
Yeah, music's the soundtrack to our lives. Totally. Everyone listens to music, you know, whether they,
you know, look how music would cause, you know, hundreds of thousands of people to gather on a rain-soaked hill, you know, to listen to bands, and then yeah, if you harness that power and just turned it into like marketing, you know, you would rule the world.
So you guys, you have a band. You also have you're making a movie called Center in Exile.
Right. Well, we like that whole, right. It's the movie that built on that idea. It's a scientific international action team against this entire conspiracy, and they enlist, you know, half the government is corrupt. There's a small portion of government that remains true to some founding ideals, people in the military community, scientific community, and in government. And so they have to like get together basically in secret to win the day.
And we win the day.
So, you know, of course, right now what's going on with big tech and the censorship of conservatives and libertarians, have you guys run into that? And what has it caused you to do, basically? Like, how is your belief in free speech, your libertarian ideas, you guys being patriots, how's that affected, you know, you in the music scene? Has that had an adverse effect?
Well, you know, probably because we do it through a sci-fi story, it's a little, we don't come right out front and say things. That they kind of have to look for the message, and we sort of like, you know, sort of walk a line with that. But I don't think you'd have to look very deep though to see it. And when Pat wears his shirt with the Statue of Liberty holding the
AK-47.
That's kind of a
Yeah, that kind of
direct
says
message.
what we're about, freedom.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys don't have any, it's coming to the point where the adverse effects on people have been happening for so long, and it's come to such the head that I don't think that they can really push it any further. Now, I know I've lost multiple gigs, multiple production gigs, playing with people because I'm a libertarian, because going back to 2013, because I'm an Alex Jones supporter. Alex Jones is a terrorist, blah, 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 all this stuff. It's like, dude, but it's
people,
the amount of friends
don't listen to him. They don't listen to Alex. If they listen to Alex, they would know.
Yeah, I know. I'm always like, gay frogs, right? Gay frogs.
Yeah.
Do you know that there is gay frogs? And like, I tell them why and the studies. And hey, do you want to learn about shrimps too? Because the government spent a lot of money researching that. And the thing that I've noticed is that if you see the preacher on the side of the street with the bullhorn yelling at everybody, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. His message and my message right there on the surface are completely different. He's trying to save souls and show people the light. I'm not saying I'm trying to save any souls, but I'm trying to show people the light that I've seen. And his delivery system is condemnation and telling people that they're not good. And the only way that we're going to win this fight is if first of all, if someone's not awake, they're not going to be awake. If you're not awake by now, you're just not going to get awake. It's the people that are teetering on the edge that are fighting the most.
Yeah.
Are the people that we need to bring over to our side. And the only way to do it now is we have to be brothers and sisters to them and be like, you made a mistake. How pissed are you when you find out you get scammed by something you trusted? And that's what's happened.
But there seems to be a hardcore that they cannot handle truth.
Yeah.
But the thing is too is kind of like, it's like a 6 and a 9. They can't see it for whatever reason, because I've got a lot of friends who are, I don't want to call them liberal because I don't believe they're liberal anymore. They're authoritarians, or as one of my friends, I always like to bust his chops and call him a communist. and that's what it is, though. They want to control everything and see me like I'm. I had to walk a spiritual path because I had to quit drinking. So the only way to quit drinking is you gotta walk a spiritual path. And in my path, one of the biggest things is control. And I don't want to control anybody today. I don't want to control anything or anybody. And see, that's what tells me that they're on the wrong path, man. It's because they're trying to control everything. They want to control every aspect of your life, and that's not the answer, man. You got to let people be themselves.
The problem is that they've been so used to controlling everything.
And being controlled too. That's the thing. People like to be like. I'm doing another site with a buddy of mine, and we're thinking about the name, and we got into a heated discussion about the name because he's like, people don't know what these things mean, because I was looking up Latin terms and this and that, and he's right. People are lazy and don't want to learn, which is a shame.
Yeah,
really a shame. I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it. I love the fact that you're making a movie. That's so cool. I love the way that you've done what you've done, guerrilla style.
For WCSB, who's been playing our first album.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully be jumping on the second album, WCSB, The Big D Show. Shout out to Big D and C-Note.
Big D and C-Note. You
gotta give them a shout out, man. They helped me a lot.
Yeah. I think there's something that's very unique about Northeast Ohio. And it's really funny if you look at like the Texas-Ohio connection with InfoWars. If you look at all the people from Northeast Ohio that work with them,
Look at worked with me.
Yeah, that's true. And you look at something that people don't talk a lot about, and that when I left Cleveland in my musical career, and I was in LA and Chicago, these big cities, I'd go down to the end of the dial and I'd look for my college radio stations, because I knew out of one of the 3 stations, there's someone be playing some hard rock or some hardcore or some reggae. No college radio in Cleveland. CSB, RUW, UJC, those stations, people don't understand the wealth that they have there, where we automatically can just vote for different music just by switching, to the point where in the Northeast Ohio area, there's a high school that has a 24-hour radio station. You know, it's amazing. It's so cool. And if I want to give all my support to CSB and all the college radio stations everywhere, because without that freedom of choice, that freedom of speech, we're done. And the people at, you know, the young, not even young, just the people that are taking the time to go into that, you need to understand that this is a war. The Civil War has already started. It's been going on since Trump got elected, and they're burning digital books right now. And we have to stop it. We have to stop it. So, all right, I love you guys. Thanks for coming on Full Metal MAGA.
Now, everything about your show, I think, it's crucially important, really. And because I was watching an earlier interview with Frail, and I mean, you would talk back in the day, like you said you considered yourself, you know, just a liberal-minded guy, and then it's and now you found out this new state where it's where you think you never would have gone is actually the hip thing to be at the moment, and it's a new way of thinking, and I think if people explore it more, they're going to learn a lot.
Yeah, I was a Democrat, you know, and I actually voted for Obama the first time, but the second time I voted for Ron Paul. You know,
that's really turned me on to the whole libertarian movement, which I hadn't really known about before.
There's a new thing called the Pirate Party, though, where we're just gonna, you know, do an end run around everything.
Pirate Party, I like that one, dude. Ben, thanks for your kind words. You know, the only way that when I got into music, it was totally it was a circumstance of in the right place at the right time, and I really had to keep my mouth shut about a lot of my inner feelings. And I think that the globalists are not stupid. They're some of the most brilliant people on the planet, and they understood, and they've understood for generations, that you get the hip kids, the cool things. And so they've been pushing globalism and climate change on all the hip kids forever. And I'm sitting there supposedly the top of the heap of the hip kids going, this is complete, it's just not true. It's not right. And I saw the inner workings of,
and you see the wool literally being pulled over there.
Yeah, and that's where it goes back to. A lot of people don't want to be woken up. They want to be controlled. They want to be told what to do, which is really a shame, because they've been conditioned from life, and they're going to end up at their end of their life like, I regret not doing anything with myself. And I've gotten so much flack from doing this, but I've also gotten 10 times more approval. And I just look at the protests, the people yelling at me, the threats, as you really don't want to get woken up, but you hear the alarm. And I'm not pissed at them at all. You know, I'm not hurt by them at all. I feel bad for them as victims, and because I would get very pissed, and I wanted to retaliate, and that's exactly what the dark spirit or whatever it is on the earth wants to happen. Yeah. So before I let you go, one last thing: who do you think's going to be the final nominee for the Democrats?
Hey, no, I'm done. What do you think of Tulsi?
I love Tulsi.
Except she's bad on guns.
Yeah, she's bad on guns, but you know, I personally think, I mean, I've been saying this for a while. Like, I don't think that anyone that's running right now, I think someone's going to come in like Michelle Obama or Jon Stewart or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
We're going to get sideswiped?
And get sideswiped, yeah. Because, I mean, Michael Moore, I mean, just today, or yesterday, Michael Moore came out that he wanted to, you know, he's asking Michelle Obama to run because there's nobody. Because if you look at, Tulsi completely skewered Kamala Harris. And if you went and looked on Twitter and Google, Twitter wasn't even trending her at all, or Williamson. And they're going to do to Tulsi exactly what they did to Ron Paul.
Yeah, they're controlling it all.
Yeah, they just want to control it all. And it's really comical. And it's like, it's a very sad comedy to watch. It's like a tragic comedy because they're running a 1964 playbook on controlling the media, and it's 2019. And it's like, they don't understand that the three of us sitting right here are the new media. Even if no one watches what we're doing except the three of us, we've just empowered ourselves. So we're walking, and Pat, like you said before, we're walking on spiritual paths. So we walk out in the world and we actually believe in ourselves to a very large degree. And so, you know, that old saying, if you don't believe in something, then you'll fall for anything. And we're not falling. And that's how we've already defeated them. We just have to be careful because it's the last 19 months of the Civil War after Gettysburg, and a lot of people died, you know? So, all right, guys, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks everybody for watching Full Metal MAGA, and we'll see you the next time.
Peace.
Peace, friend.
We're now going to take you underwater and on kind of a little bit of a deep sea adventure.
Thanks for checking it out. Full Metal Mag is a place where libertarians, conservatives, classical liberals, apolitical people, musicians and artists can gather. We don't endorse or condemn any candidate or political party. We just want to be able to meet on a common ground and discuss things like we used to be able to do.